An airplane is flying from Vancouver to Toronto, a distance of 4,000 kilometers, with a tailwind of 40 kilometers per hour. The flight takes 20 minutes less than it would take if there was no wind. What is the speed of the airplane in calm air? For word problems involving rational equations, it is often helpful to set up a table in order to develop the equation. For questions involving speed, distance, and time, the columns will include speed, distance, and time. Express the speeds using the unknown variable, and express the times using the formula speed equals distance divided by time. This will get rearranged to time equals distance divided by speed. Use the information with respect to time to set up and solve a rational equation. We have rows in this table corresponding to no wind and with a tailwind. For the speed column, we want to calculate the speed of the airplane in calm air. This corresponds to no wind. With a 40 kilometer per hour tailwind, the speed will then be x plus 40. For the distance column, the distance given is 4,000 kilometers. This corresponds to whether there's no wind or if there's a tailwind. For the time column, we will use the formula time equals distance divided by speed. With no wind, this will be 4,000 divided by x. And with a tailwind, 4,000 divided by x plus 40. We can then use the time column to come up with an equation. We know that it will take 20 minutes less if there was wind compared to if there is no wind. This means that 4,000 over x minus 4,000 over x plus 40, this is the difference between the time taken with no wind and with wind. This has to be equal to 20 minutes, which is exactly 1/3 of an hour. Note here we have a rational equation. The denominators are x, x plus 40, and 3. In order to solve this equation, we clear the fractions by multiplying by the common denominator, x times x plus 40 times 3. For the first term, the x cancels out. This results in 4,000 times 3 times x plus 40. For the second term, the x plus 40 cancels out. This results in minus 4,000 times 3 times x. And for the final term on the right side of the equal sign, the 3 cancels. This results in x times x plus 40. We then expand all of these expressions. First of all, on the left side of the equal sign, 4,000 times 3 times x gives 12,000x, and 4,000 times 3 times 40 gives plus 480,000. The next term, minus 4,000 times 3 times x, is minus 12,000x. On the right side of the equal sign, x times x plus 40 gives x squared plus 40x. Here we have a quadratic equation. To solve this, we get all of the terms over to one side, having a 0 on the other side. Note here that the 12,000x minus 12,000x cancels out. Then moving the 480,000 over to the right side, we get the equation 0 equals x squared plus 40x minus 480,000. I will solve this equation using the quadratic formula. In this case, x equals negative b, which is negative 40, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, that's 40 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 480,000, the whole thing divided by 2a, which is 2 times 1. This gives two results, negative 713.1 and positive 673.1. Note here that we ignore the negative as we are looking for a speed. We can then say that the speed in calm air, which corresponds to the x, is 673 kilometers per hour.